This year's Creative Women MiniCon is going to be amazing. It's October 3rd, our third annual, and here to talk to me today is Julie Okahara. This isn't actually her first time. This is your first time coming to Creative Women MiniCon.
Yes.
But you were here on Free Comic Book Day.
Yes, I was.
And that was a fun day, wasn't it? It was packed.
Yeah.
And was that that was the first time you've done a con with us, right?
Yeah, that was my first time, and then I think the month before I had the little illustration show in the artist room.
Yeah, you guys have seen her in the art room, and if you guys haven't checked out the art room, make sure you do. I know all the new comics are over there, but come to this side of the store. There's a door that's open. Go on in, take a look. Every month we showcase new artists that are local here in Sacramento, and we had Julie, actually, you took over the entire room.
Yes.
When she did her month. And what I really like about your artwork is you combine a couple different things. You've got the traditional painting,
yeah,
but you've got like fabric and 3D thrown
yes.
onto your stuff. What brought that about? Did you see that somewhere? Was that something that just came naturally to you?
Well, yeah, well, I was taking sculpture class at Sierra College like years ago, and then I was working on marionette. I made like 6 feet maybe taller marionette.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, and then so in order to make that one, I bought a bunch of fabric, and I had tons of leftovers.
So this was like when you make chili out of a bunch of stuff that's sitting in the refrigerator, and it just worked, and it turned out amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's interesting. All right, see, sometimes a necessity, that's all it takes. So what was your first piece you did then with a painting and fabric?
I didn't have like many painting like background. I wanted to be a sculptor.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I started schooling here. But I realized at home you can't really use plaster or clay.
Okay.
So I started doing painting, and then painting on scrapped wood, like the ones you can find.
Yeah. No, you can. I mean, you can do amazing things with that kind of stuff. I've seen some really creative ways to use stuff that other people think is junk.
So yeah, I was making a little piece for my boyfriend, or my husband now, and then I just thought like, oh, maybe I should just use the fabric that I had forever.
Okay.
And I applied for it, and I was like, oh, that worked way better than I thought.
So what was it? Was it like, I mean, what did you make?
Oh, I made an owl looking, but it was us, like me and him, on the wood, and the hair was like the puff part.
Yeah, so when you guys see the stuff that she's got, it'll be your flat canvases, and then there's always just a little bit of fabric, whether it's like the clouds or the hair, something that stands out. Another thing that really stands out for me, and actually there's other cute little things, like the angels have the chains that'll come off of the canvas, but the one thing that really stood out for me was that your people had holes in their stomach, which I found very interesting. Yeah, okay, see, so the paintings are bright, they're colorful, and then there's just there's more depth to them that makes you stop and think. Now, do you have a story behind every one of those paintings, or do you go in and draw what you see and let other people imagine it?
Both.
Okay.
So I do have my story about my paintings, but that's not like the answer for that piece.
Okay, so it could be any. So you don't tell people your story then?
No, not necessary. If people ask, I would answer, but sometimes like I change up.
Okay.
Whenever
it depends on your mood and what's going on. So now, what have you been working on since we've seen you in there? I know you now have you take buttons to the cons.
Yeah.
So you guys can find that. You've got prints.
Yeah.
Now these are prints of what are they?
Of my original art, like either drawing, or I'm trying to figure out how to make print off of my paintings, because I can't.
That's rough because you can't put them.
Yeah, scan it, because I have 3-dimensional part, and some stuff like comes off of the canvas, so I have to figure.
I think for the moment, if you guys see something that you like that's one of our originals with the fabric, the only way to own it is to pick it up. That's just it. So you'll have the prints of your drawings.
Yeah.
In, and do you have any smaller pieces you're going to bring?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys will get to see, and you'll have links below, so you'll get to see exactly what we're talking about. We'll put it in there so you can go take a peek at Julie's stuff. So now that you've discovered this fabric use, is that what you do primarily?
Yes. Well, when I do painting.
Okay.
Yes. Because I don't want to, not settle, but I don't want to just do painting like two-dimensional. I want to have
it's very
some
unique.
sort of depth or some 3D kind of effect. That's why when I do drawings, I cut out some parts of the paper and then have other paper behind it.
So okay, so even that is unique.
So it's like layered, and then you can see kind of like not three-dimensional, but sometimes you can see like shadow of the paper.
Okay, so it gives it a little more depth to the entire thing.
I like that effect.
Nice, and people do too, because when we had your stuff up in there, there was a lot of attention to it. People really dug it, because I don't think a lot of us had seen anything quite like that.
Oh, cool.
So, I mean, look at that. All from using scrap wood and some extra fabric to doing all of it. But that's not all Julie does. She also works, you guys heard us talk with Eben Burgoon about 916 Ink, which is a project that helps kids, get into writing. It's young kids. The ones you worked with were about 9 or 10. And what they do is they create a script. They hook up with local artists. The artists bring it to comic book format, and then it gets printed. So this is the second one. We have the first one in the shop right now. The second one, we've actually got 2 of our creative women in this one. Not only is Julie there, but Sarah Kraft is there as well. And here, let me show them your pages. So what's the process? These young creators write the stories.
Yes.
And then do you work with them, or do you just work with the script?
No, it's actually very kind of, they try to do professional. So Evan's gonna teach whole semester before he brings in all artists, so they know how to write the script, kind of like how to develop their
So they're
stories.
not just throwing it down. He's trying to teach them that there's a process and a way to get this done.
Yeah, and then when we have 2 meetings with the class, the first meeting is get to know each other, like artists to present what our works like. So the kids can see I'm heavily illustrated, this person is more serious, cartoon looking.
So you compare you guys with the correct
style.
The correct style. That's amazing. That's really good, because then the kids learn there's more to it than just throwing it on paper and it gets done. They're working with you to make sure this thing gets completed.
Yeah, and then they do pitch day, which they present their story to us, and then we connect each other, like pair.
Excuse me. That's where you guys actually hook up.
Yes.
That is cool. And just last week, Julie was at the CrockerCon, and the kids were there too, which is really neat, because the book was out. The kids got to sign. They got to sell the book, and all the creators, or most of the artists, were there. So it was a really neat night for that kind of stuff. Did you have a good time at CrockerCon?
Yes, I did.
It's a lot of fun. If you guys missed it, I know we're talking about creative women, but you should mark your calendar for next year. It's one night a year where all the local artists and writers get together, go down to the Crocker Art Museum, and just present their stuff. It's a really fun and mellow night. Thank you for coming down, Julie.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
October 3rd, you guys. It's Creative Women Minicon. We are going to have a great day. You guys need to come down. We open at 11. Lots of talent. And look at that. That kid knows what to write. He's got his hands on the pulse of the comic industry. Thank you very much, Julie, and we will see you guys on October 3rd.